All right, and Chukwudi Obaja joins us for the newspaper review. Always a pleasure to welcome you, Chukwudi.
The feeling is mutual. How are you, Victor?
Well, I'm fair.
Good morning.
Good to see you.
You're pairing up with a wonderful woman. Hello, Jumai.
Morning, I miss you, man.
Like I'm not a wonderful man myself.
I'll go beyond the feeling is mutual. The feeling is cordial, convivial, anything you want to suggest is not adjective. Let's go, guys.
All right, let's get going, and let's lead with the leadership, okay? And the lead story here reads, Tinubu has ordered us to crash food prices, says minister. What minister? Well, you get details of all of those on page 4. And the tiny strip just beneath that is 2027. Punish politicians violating campaign rules now, Jega tells INEC. Okay? And there's this picture story, well, of business leaders somewhere. Below that, finance minister clashes with reps panel over budget implementation is on page 7. And just above the nameplate, Soyinka vows to shun U.S. visa re-interview today. That's on page 7. Ellison overtakes Elon Musk as world's richest person. You get details of that on page 28. And to the left of the page, where you have 4 stories, let's take them one after the other. Bandits kill 5 soldiers, 10 villagers in Zamfara ambush is on page 7. 3 policemen slain in Kogi is on page 2. Alleged Ansaru terrorist commanders face 32 charges today. That's on page 7. An anti-graft agency grills Mele Kyari is on page 4. Okay, let's leave that for leadership and get to the Vanguard. The lead story, 2027, microzoning stirs tension in PDP. Opposition's prospects brighten as INEC recognizes David Mark-led ADC. Jonathan, Kwankwaso deepen negotiations is on page 5. Above the nameplate, FG not introducing new tax, Oyedele, that's on page 8. NCAA orders airlines to blacklist unruly passengers is also on page 8. Netanyahu must be brought to justice, Qatari Prime Minister vows is on page 9. And 2024 budget, 80% implemented. That's according to Edu, and that's on page 19. And just above it, blackout, businesses suffer as national grid collapses again. You get details of that on page 19. I think some of the stories have been taken in the leadership. But let's take this one in sports. 2026 World Cup qualifiers blame NFF, Chel, for Eagles' woes. That's credited to Kojo. Above that story, you have a picture story of President Bola Tinubu looking all dapper with French President Emmanuel Macron just yesterday in Paris. Okay, yes. Let's leave it at that.
Yeah, let's leave it at that. I have the Daily Times newspaper. On the Daily Times newspaper, above the masthead, 2027, criminalize premature campaign with stiff penalties. That's coming from the former INEC chairman, Atairu Jega. You find the details on page 15. And below the masthead, NASC malls building new houses for 469 federal lawmakers. Details on page 10. And below the picture story, reps meet finance, budget ministers over 2024-2025 budget implementation. Details on page 10. FG targets seamless digital payments, financial inclusion for all Nigerians. Find the details on page 12. Court denies 5 Al-Shabaab terrorist bail. Details on page 2. And Senate's treatment of Natasha may hinder women's political participation. That's coming from the ADC. Details on page 8. And our president looking, like you said, dapper, looking well, looking clean in France, enjoying his leave. Yes, before he comes back to Nigeria with all our troubles. So, Mr. Chukwudi.
You know, I like to develop that last aspect of it.
Yeah.
I don't come here to get religious.
Yes.
But I believe people should speak well of situations and people. I read when somebody was saying the president had gone to practically pack his ailing body to blah, blah, blah.
Well,
The first way they look there, they ailing.
No way.
It was Obasanjo that asked him, Yaradua, are you dead? You know,
People
were speculating.
Yes.
Let us learn to say things the way they are. It's very important,
it's very
okay?
important.
Punish politicians violating campaign guidelines. Jega will always remain one of my champions in this country. I like what he says. It doesn't bother me, the politician who is being paraded already and all that. Guidelines are guidelines. We must learn to be taken seriously by behaving, in a way that will be taken seriously. I think Jega has a point.
He does.
You will say, what does it? It's going to derail some people from governance because of the intense activity we have packed into something that is premature. Little things that matter. I believe I agree with Jega fully there. The minister is saying that there's an order from the president for food prices to be crushed. And I said, hey, let them go on with that. Already we like the drop in prices, even though we will quickly also say that the prices are still not within the range of Jumai and Victor's pockets. And maybe mine, you never know. Who is overtaking Elon Musk? Because I saw the way you looked at me when I said... I
think it's time to pay you a visit.
Don't send small boys to my house at night. I was only joking. So, the food prices story is a wonderful story any day. Food, after oxygen, is water. After water, food. Then you have security. Food and security are actually there. Some people will even tell you security must be there for these other ones to happen.
Shelter.
We should never, ever, gloss over any of these essentials of life. So I'm happy about the food story. Yes, we just mentioned that somebody is overtaking Elon Musk. When you get into politics, I like the way Dangote behaves. Of course, Dangote from behind the scenes must be a big factor to some people, who may be in politics. But the way he insistently does not come out to, that makes him a wise man.
Yes, in particular.
You don't mix politics and business at that level. Elon Musk, he was carrying a chainsaw, to ask, many jobs in Washington, D.C., they said it was a swamp. You see what has happened now. He lost a lot of money.
Yes.
Tesla is not doing so well these days, What was that?
The space project is, money is going so much into the space project.
Exactly.
It's not a small.
But they've had a successful launch the last time, the Starship.
Yes.
It was commendable. He is going to catch up. You know the thing about billionaires and millionaires. The risk they take, Jumai, it will make the likes of Victor faint. That's the truth.
Who told you?
You see them, something happens to their business, they start from
billions.
They start from
Scratch.
They take another risk. I say, God, we are going to get this guy out. They are wonderful human beings.
Yes.
Victor, there was something else you read, which I think I'm missing.
And there was one I didn't read.
Okay.
Senate must allow Natasha back, say ADC, ex-Kaduna AG Jacobs.
Yeah, because...
that matter doesn't seem to want to
actually,
go away.
the debate I'm going... Because I've talked about it yesterday. If the appeal, as claimed by the Senate, is the reason Natasha is still there, if they make it a convincing legal point, we will keep quiet and let the process of court run its
But
course.
if you suspend somebody
let me finish, sir,
6
please.
months.
6 months is up. It was March. We know all that. I'm telling you what they said, that there's an appeal. I read it yesterday. But this ADC story you read, there's an angle I'm interested in. They said the kind of treatment she's getting is not going to encourage women into politics a lot. Victor, maybe because you didn't read the details, you didn't get to that point. That we need to look into. you know, because women...
What about our constituents?
Yeah.
They're losing out.
Well, that
There's
was the
no
first thing I
voice in the
said,
Senate.
but because I'm not one of their learned friends, I
Yeah.
said it and also retraced my steps. I'm not weeping for Natasha. I'm not weeping for a politician. But I'm saying what happens to the interest of our people all this time she's been away. And ahead of my layman's stressing assertion of that point, I mean, later, that was also one of what the judge, what about our constituents and all that? That was natural thinking. I didn't have to know law to think that way. I thought that should have been considered, you know?
Well,
let me not go beyond that so we don't begin to sound sub judice.
NASC most building new houses for 469 federal lawmakers.
And the first thing that the social media will pick up, there are people who get that still they give and all that. You know, you know when you're part of the rabble, you sometimes thinking is disorganized. So we'll get to know the details of the story, why the new houses are important. We won't be able to say yes or no from the point of view of opinion, you know, from our opinion point. So let's get to know the details of the story.
Okay, FG targets seamless digital payments, financial inclusion for all Nigerians.
Yeah, I should clap for that.
Yeah.
But remember that yesterday I warned that from January you won't be able to evade tax anymore. Once we are all in the net.
But they say it has the petroleum tax has been withdrawn indefinitely.
Petroleum tax is just one of the taxes.
Yes, one of the taxes.
Many of us have not been doing our income tax properly. By January, you won't be. No, those of you are.
Servants, they take it directly from our salary. We don't even know how much they take. Also.
Many of us, those who are on regular pay and all that, you do your pay as you earn, you know. But people in private businesses, some of them are not doing the best they can in that. You won't be able to do that from January 1, as long as your money gets into the bank. Yes.
All right. I wish I could just let you go, but perhaps you should look at this. Tinubu has ordered us to crash food prices, says Minister, and I'm wondering, you have to be told?
Well, incidentally, we have mentioned it, but when you talk about campaigning, it comes in many forms, so Victor. Not be everything that they tell person. Must I quarrel with you on this show every day?
All right, before you
Vicky boy.
Thank you very much.
Vicky boy.
Let's not quarrel. We'll see you again tomorrow.
Bless you guys.
Have a great day. And Good Morning Nigeria will continue after this break. Please stay with us.
By the special grace of God, I will be turning 65 years old on the 21st September 2025. And this happens to be a Sunday. This is why I have decided to dedicate the day to God for all His blessings in my life and